everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is, of course, as you've seen from the title, a what I eat in a day video, and I'm so excited to share it with you because I have some banging recipes for you guys today. Middle Eastern recipes and a really lovely lunch. I'm just very excited. So I had breakfast this morning, pretty nothingy. I had a banana and a cup of tea because it was scorching when I woke up. It still is, and I couldn't think about eating really. I just wasn't too hungry. So I did want something a bit more substantial for lunch. So I've done this kind of aubergine, cheesy, onion, tomato bake, which I've kind of done in two stages. So I chopped up all my veggies. I put overlays while I'm talking. So I chopped up an aubergine and I got it in the pan frying with some paprika, salt and pepper, a nice good quality olive oil. Feel free to use fry lights or whatever you prefer. I use olive oil. I think it's really good for me and I don't like to skip on it, so that's what I use. And then I basically arranged it all in a dish with some, what's it called, passata, which I mixed with the roasted garlic and with some oregano, and then I basically just assembled it all in an oven safe dish, grated some cheese on top, and I popped it in the oven so it's going to be nice and bubbly and crispy in a few moments. And I'm going to be having it with this bread, which is a cranberry, raisin and cashew bloomer that I picked up from Tesco, so that's really exciting. And then for dinner tonight I'm going to be whipping up a Middle Eastern dish which is called, I mean, it's a biryani essentially. It's a chicken biryani, but it's with a Middle Eastern twang to it. So all the ingredients I'm going to be using are inspired by this Middle Eastern recipe, this Iraqi recipe, and we're going to be using these really fine noodles within the rice. I think they're called vasini or vasini noodles, not too sure. In Arabic we call them sha'riya or tilman sha'riya, which is those noodles within the rice. It's going to be delicious. I'm making it with crispy chicken and it's going to be mega. I cannot wait for you guys to try it. A great one for upcoming autumn, for comfort food. A great one for cooking in batch and squirreling loads away in the freezer, and of course fantastic for families as well. So I cannot wait to share that with you tonight. I'm so looking forward to it. It's not a dish I have often, but man, when I do, I enjoy it. So this is about to come out the oven, so I thought I would talk you through the bread that I'm about to eat because I've never had this before. So let's get the pointer out and see if we can see what this equates to. This is the loaf in question, and I have no idea what this is going to amount to because I've not had it before. Normally I just have like bloomer bread, but this just looks really delicious and oh god, it smells so good. So I'm going to have a little bit of that. I'm curious to see if this will come up on the WW app. I don't think it will, if I'm completely honest. These can tend to be quite rare to come up on the app because they're from the bakery. Things from the deli are, you know, similar to that as well. But oh my goodness, it's come up and it's 10 points per 100 grams. I'm not going to use 100 grams because that seems quite high, but I am going to weigh out my serving. And you can see with this loaf, the cranberries, there's pistachios in there, there's olives. It just looks delicious, and I bet when we cut into it, it's going to look equally as impressive. Yeah, I mean, that just looks heavenly, doesn't it? I'm only literally going to have a small amount of this bread because if you could feel it, guys, it's quite weighty, it's quite heavy, and I just don't think I'll need much of it. So I have here 39 grams, which is perfect size for me for lunch, just for dipping, because normally when I have this I just have the aubergine because that's quite filling on its own, but I did want to try this bread, and that equates to 4 points. In fact, you know what, let's have 5 points worth. Let's just get a little bit more off. Let's just get a little bit more off. Let's try and make it 5 to 6 points because everything else that I'm using is free. So I want to make sure that I'm getting the calories in. Alright, so 74 grams is 7 points. That's perfectly fine for me, and that is 2 nice substantial slices of that bread. So I'm going to track that. And we'll get the sauce out and see what we're left with.
Ever since the day that you went away,
there you have it, a gorgeous, filling, delicious, rich lunch. 9 points because I have 2 points for the cheese and 7 points for the bread, and I doubt I'll even eat all this bread because that looks so filling. I probably will just have the one, but I've got myself 2 out just in case. So I'll update you later with how filling it all was, but man, this looks delicious. So it's now time to make dinner, and as I mentioned before, we're going to be having Middle Eastern, specifically Iraqi Biryani, which comes from this cookbook. I will link this down below because I really like it. My parents got me this for my birthday and it's really good. So I'm going to be using chicken thighs with the skin on. If you wanted to make this less calorie dense, then you could use skinless chicken breast, and that's absolutely fine. But I think this adds a lot of flavour and it's going to add a lot of richness to our stock. But of course you could use a combination of both or either or, that's completely up to you. I have some potatoes here, I have some noodles here that are going to make these really fine shreds within the rice. It's going to be delicious. We have some flaked almonds, some cinnamon powder. It does call for a cinnamon stick. I don't have one, so I'm using powder. Turmeric, 5 cardamom pods. I only really know these as Hale, and my dad has them in his tea, but I recently learned that they're called cardamom pods. So we have that, some turmeric, 2 medium-sized onions, 2 cloves of garlic, and we also have a pack of rice as well. So the first thing we're going to do is start boiling this chicken, which might sound a bit bizarre, but this is how we're going to make the stock. So we're going to boil it at first, and then the water that is boiling in is going to be used to cook the rice and the noodles. So we're going to boil it with all the herbs and spices, and we will caramelize it later. Of another What I Eat. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. The biryani was really delicious. However, I think I do prefer my parents' version, which is a little bit different than the one that they've used in the book, but I enjoyed it nevertheless. Really great for batch cooking, really great if you're doing for a big amount of people and squirreling a ton in the freezer. Great for family events because everything kind of goes in one pot and then it's just divided up. So yeah, I'm going to pop that recipe in the description box down below for you guys, but I hope you've all enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you have, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you very, very soon.